Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch me. And I'm just going to start off the show with a tribute to one of my favorite comedians of all time. Norm Mcdonald died yesterday, and I got the news when I was at work, and it really broke. It was the first thing that really broke me. I put it on par with Chris Farley for me. I didn't really get into Norm Mcdonald until about 15 years ago because, I don't know, my age or just what was going on. And he was scheduled to come out to where I live soon to do a stand-up, and I was going to get tickets. And easily one of my favorite comedians. And easily one of the funniest people on earth. And a guy I aspire to become. A guy like Norm Mcdonald. A guy that isn't told what is funny and what's not funny and allows the audience to dictate what is funny and what's funny. Told to, like on SNL, you can't say jokes about this, and this. You can't make these jokes about O.J. Simpson. And then he goes, yeah, I'm going to make a whole show about it. Those are my kind of people. People that say F you to the powers that be because they want to control the narrative. They want to control the story. They want to control things. Because I remember at that time when O.J. Simpson was being accused, rightfully, wrongfully, whatever. It was like a white supremacy thing like it is today. Like anytime you accuse a black man of a crime, it's just like immediately there's emotions attached to it as opposed to actually just looking at the facts. But let's get into a Norm Mcdonald clip that might take me off YouTube. So, as always, remember to follow me on BitChute and Rumble. And I'm also on every single audio platform there is. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook as well. But follow me on Rumble because I know YouTube will take me down eventually. And that's just a part of me and speaking out against the powers that be. I'm not going to be like other YouTubes that are just like a grifter. I'm not like AOC. I'm not pretending to tax the rich and I'm for socialism and I'm oppressed and all this stuff. Why I walk around in my $30,000 dress, why I have my slaves or my people, my workers masked up, following me, holding my dress up that says tax the rich. And I pretend like I'm this super oppressed person as all these super oppressed people that are multimillionaires. I'm like, God, give me some of that oppression, please. I want to go to the Met Gala and pretend like everyone hates me in the world. Here's a picture of Norm Mcdonald. Beautiful. My favorite is that as I've been talking about Norm Mcdonald, for those who are just listening to audio, is I have a picture of Bob Dole. And there's got to be a couple people listening to my podcast like, I don't know if this guy knows who Norm Mcdonald is. It's like the worst Norm Mcdonald impression. He's got a picture of Bob Dole. What's this guy do? It's what Norm would have wanted. But let's watch this clip from The View. Easily one of my favorite things I've ever seen. This is from The View, and this clip is impossible to find. But he starts talking about Bill Clinton, the Clintons killing people in their murder count on The View. And it just shows unfunny people trying to control the narrative that are just like, you can't talk about this stuff. You can't say this stuff. You can't make these jokes. You can't do that. You can't. And you're just like, you know what? I'm going to say it. Easily one of the funniest political commentators of my time, our time, because he wasn't controlled by his tribalism. And that's why he's important. Let's listen. I'm going to have to stop this every once in a while to keep from getting a copyright strike. So if you're like, just play the clip, it's so good, I'm going to have to stop it and talk about it because this is what copyright restrictions require you to do.
See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a A fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the
He's talking about Clinton, and immediately The View is completely uncomfortable with this.
Fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who's the murderers? Yeah.
Oh,
Who's the murderers? I don't know anything. What are you? The Clintons.
Next question.
Oh.
Who's the murderers? Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little
Charlie.
too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next.
The last thing you want to tell a comedian, anybody who likes to say jokes, is say that's a little too far, because that is key for the comedian inside to go, really? That's my cue to keep pushing.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. We don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into this,
that.
and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on.
This is funny, Barbara.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next
I
question.
thought it was a matter of record.
Okay.
Let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what.
See, I don't...
Look, Norm Mcdonald was ahead of his time. And it's playing out in today's culture more and more as, you know, even Nicki Minaj came out and said that vaccine tweet about her cousin's balls got big or whatever. That was the weirdest tweet ever. Balls got big because he took the vaccine. But there's an establishment, there's people at the party, liberal, left-leaning people that are have the media by Nicki Minaj's cousins, you know what, and they want to control the narrative. They want to control the picture. That's why they make Joe out to be like this great guy you can go get ice cream with, even though he has this horrible record in the Senate and, you know, had made up an entire story about his whole personality and had to drop out of a race before. But yeah, we just like pretend like that never happened. The media likes to control the narrative, and they want to control how to speak about things. You're not allowed to speak out against. If you're a celebrity, and this is why comedians are so important, like real comedians, not comedians that are just in it for the money, comedians that punch up instead of punch down. Because they're not afraid to crack. People are already thinking it, and that's why it's so funny. It's not funny because, oh my God, I can't believe you would say that. It's a conspiracy, and that's why it's hilarious, and that's what we're all thinking anyways. And you have people like Barbara Walters and now CNN, MSNBC, Twitter, YouTube, Google. They want to censor speech. They want to censor what you say because we want to control this misinformation. We can't have this information getting into the wrong hands. People are too stupid to decipher what's true and what's not true. And that's why Norm Mcdonald is important, because he cut through it. And that's why we need more people like him in today's culture more than ever. That's why you're seeing YouTube, independent creatives grow as mainstream media shrinks. That's why you're seeing podcasts continue to grow. There's like so many podcasts. So I appreciate you for listening to me. That's why you see podcasts continue to grow and media continue to drop, because the media is controlled by narrative. They're being told that's why you can change the channel and you could hear the same word over and over again because it's being pushed down from the top. They want to have this word, so you associate this law with a word that's connected to an emotion. So you have this emotional connection with everything, and so you. Instead of looking at abortion as abortion, you look at it as women's rights. And now the new word for that is healthcare. Like that came out like 5 years ago or something, that abortion is healthcare. Like they want to associate these words are being passed down, and you need comedians to call the BS when they see it. And that's why Norm Mcdonald dying was devastating to me. Easily one of my favorite comedians of all time. How Bob Dole survived longer than Norm Mcdonald is insane to me. Norm, thank you for everything you did and for the comedy you brought. And I'm just going to, I think from this whole week, I'm just going to do deep dives personally and just go through Norm Macdonald's comedy because, God, what a freaking legend. Let's get into some of the news. Marco Rubio urges President Joe Biden to fire General Mark Milley. And if you're not following the Mark Milley story, you shouldn't, because nothing's going to happen from it. There's going to be a lot of hoopla and nothing will happen. I think it should. I think it's treason. He went against Donald Trump. He went around Donald Trump and was talking to China and was talking to Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and saying, I'm in control of this. I've controlled the Pentagon. He went above and beyond, and that's not what a general is supposed to do. So, but at the same time, if anyone's been following the news for a decent length of time, you know the people in establishment aren't held accountable to anything. They could just do whatever. Well, I mean, that drone strike that we did and it turned out it wasn't ISIS, it was the family just, 5 days ago or whatever that killed 10 people. I don't remember. Do you remember that story? I don't know. We're moving on. We're talking about the Met Gala and AOC wearing a dress because that's important. How many people talked about that AOC dress? These people are walking hypocrisies. We already know it. We don't need to talk about these people. I don't even want to give them credit they deserve. I understand it's an important topic and stuff like that, but there are bigger things going on in the world than just AOC, for the love of God. You talked about it. I just made a joke yesterday about how AOC's boyfriend looks a lot like me, and that just weirds me out. Marco Rubio urges President Joe Biden to fire General Mark Milley. It's not going to happen. He might get fired. I don't think that's enough. I think he should be held accountable. I think he should be charged. I think he should have to go to court. But none of this is going to happen. You know it's not going to happen. So it's like we can talk about it till we're blue in the face. It's like California hoping that Newsom's going to get recalled. Who really thought that was going to happen? I know there's like this feeling that maybe. I saw more stats coming out. A lot of Republicans obviously left California during the pandemic, and they moved to red states because they wanted to be free. And then apparently the turnout wasn't as big as they thought it was going to be. A lot of factors. And it's also, don't forget, it's California. It's like having a Republican governor of New York. Sure, maybe. And if it is a Republican, it'll never be somebody like a Larry Elder. But Mark Milley, I don't even know. Maybe the story will unfold more, and maybe there'll be more to talk about. Maybe we could talk and discuss more about it. But I honestly think literally nothing's going to happen to this guy. And nothing will happen because the deep state controls everything. And that's just how it is. I don't like talking about the deep state because I know it's kind of like very conspiracy theorist and stuff like that. But there's nothing going to happen to Mark Milley. Come on. These guys get away with whatever they want. They get away with murder, literally. So going around President Donald Trump, and as the media on the left is clapping this like it's a good thing, yay! He's so brave. He's so strong. I'm so proud of Mark Milley and everything he's done. In fact, I encourage him to go around Donald Trump because Donald Trump was an evil dictator. What about Biden doing the vaccine mandates? That's for our safety. It's different. That's not tyrannical. That's not authoritarianism. You don't know anything. Anyways, Mark Milley. Let me know your thoughts on Mark Milley below. Let me know. You can also call me on my phone number. But let's get into what I actually want to talk about. Here's what's happening in France right now as firefighters put their helmets on the floor of healthcare workers put their outfits. This girl says put their little outfits. Put their work clothes on the floor to protest against the mandatory vaccinations that have been understaffed in France. So, you have the captain, obviously, of the fire department saying why they're doing it. They put their helmets down, and then they walk away because of the vaccine mandates. That is what heroism looks like. You're taking a stand so much so that you're willing to lay down your job, your life, your revenue in order to make a stand against government dictating how you should live. There's like this weird thing going on where it's like, I'm against vaccine mandates, but yet I'll go to a restaurant that makes me show my vaccine passport. I'm against vaccine mandates, but I'll go to this comedy club that you see Tim Dillon and comes out and he's performing. Tim Dillon, one of my favorite comedians, comes out, is performing for places that force to show vaccinations, and yet he's against the vaccine mandates. This makes no sense. I'm sorry. I understand your money is affected by it, but is your character and moral stance, is that not applicable in anything anymore? Are we just such weak men and women that we don't have a stance in life? Or maybe that is their stance. But it doesn't seem to be so because they speak out against it. It's almost like the ultimate grift. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get all these libertarian conservative types to get on my side so I get their money. But then I'm going to just go against things that they believe. It's like Joe Rogan giving people's money back that when he performs at places that force to show vaccine, he's like, I'll give those people the money back that aren't vaccinated. Either you're for the mandates or you're against the mandates. There's a line in the sand, and to pretend like it's like, I'm against the mandates, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't know. Why don't we ask this Lieutenant Colonel? U.S. Lieutenant Colonel resigns over Biden's tyrannical vaccination mandate and warns of Marxist takeover in the military. It says he refuses the jab and forfeits his pension after 19 years of service. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Douglas Hague has resigned and given up pension because he refuses President Biden's unethical, immoral, and tyrannical vaccine mandates. He listed other reasons for his resignation, including a complete lack of confidence in the presidential administration. And he said, I cannot and will not contribute to the fall of the great nation of its people. The father of seven, a father of seven, quit his job, got rid of his pension because he believed in something. He resigned comes a month after active duty Marine Lieutenant Stuart Schuller was relieved of duty after calling out senior members of widely shared video. I remember that video too. Of course, he's relieved of duty, but then the girl that said, I'll come to your house, and she's okay. Lieutenant Colonel has resigned and given up his pension after more than 19 years of service. Imagine being in a job, a governmental job for 19 years. A governmental job. You could have been making more money in the private sector, but you go to the government for the benefits, not because you get paid so much. 19 years of service because he refuses President Joe Biden's unethical, immoral, and tyrannical vaccine mandates. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Douglas Hague resignation letter has been shared nearly 110,000 times, including his wife tweeted the memo announced the Army vet is walking away from all he worked for and believed since he was an ROTC kid. In a letter he wrote on August 23rd, the day after the Pentagon announced the active duty will be vaccinated immediately, Hague said that he refused to sit and allow a serum to be injected into my flesh against my will and my better judgment. That's him and his wife. Look, you might be pro-vaccine. Great. You might be against vaccine. Great. But that's up to you. We live in a free country.
Well, you got to show vaccinations to go to kindergarten.
What about private school? What about public school? I mean, prep school. What about homeschool? The idea that you're just going to lay down and submit to things in life is sad to me. I think of this quote right here. Be more concerned. This is from John Wooden. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are. while your reputation is merely what others think you are. You should be far more concerned with your character because it's who you really are. Who are you? Do you have character? Are you against the vaccine mandates, but then you act and walk like you aren't? Because it matters. Because the more people that say no to these vaccine mandates, imagine if Joe Rogan said, you know what, I'm not going to, like Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer said it, but, Jim Brewer isn't the biggest comedian of all time anymore. He still has a pull. To pretend like he doesn't is a stupid joke. But imagine Joe Rogan said, you know what, I'm not going to perform anywhere that forces a show of vaccination. Imagine if more comedians did that, more bands did that. Do you think it would just continue to be, we're for the vaccine, man? No, these companies would be like, crap, we're going to die. We're going to lose our business if we don't change our ways and go against the government. We're going to die anyways, so let's be whatever now. I personally, if I walk into a restaurant and they make me show a vaccination, or if they make me wear a mask or anything anymore, I just walk away. Why support something? And I'm not saying you need to be on my side or believe what I believe or live how I live. I'm just saying, where is your stance? What do you believe in? Because I'm sick of these people pretending they're against something, but then they don't act like it at all. Where's your line? Are you going to be like France? They've been protesting nonstop against these vaccine mandates. How's France leading the way?
Well, what are you doing about it?
I'm doing this. The minute my area has vaccine mandates, I will be protesting every night too. I'm sick of weak people who are scared and afraid to speak up for fear of losing their job, for fear of losing whatever wealth, whatever. Is your character not more important? Is your moral stance not more important? Is what you believe in not more important than money, than a job? Because the more people to speak out against stuff like this, the better it becomes for you in the long run. Hard times create strong men and women. But if you just lay down, submit, we'll just be like Australia. Maybe we'll just be like Australia. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's what we all want. We all want to be safe. We don't want to cause a stir. I just want to have my property and live far away from everyone. Then I'll be safe. It's like cancel culture. People that are like, I don't really care about cancel culture. Well, you should, because cancel culture is a cancer, and it'll eventually take everyone. It'll get to the point where the line is so far a certain direction, you will be canceled, no matter what. Are you like this Lieutenant Colonel who says, you know what? This is the last straw. I'm standing up for this. I can't continue to work for this company or do these things just for a paycheck. Because my conscience, my mind, my convictions are more important than money, than a job. And they should be, because it's your character, it's who you are, and that should be more important to you than a paycheck. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself. You have to live with the decisions. You continue to be like, I'm against vaccine mandates, and then I look at you and go, well, what'd you do against it? I don't know. I couldn't really do much. It's because you didn't care. So stop caring. Stop pretending you're against vaccine mandates because you don't act like it. And I'm not calling out anyone. I'm just calling out I'm speaking to myself right now. Maybe you're with me. Maybe this is for you. Maybe this isn't for you. But this is like just a gut check of seeing a guy who gave up 19 years in a profession that was given a pension. That 20-year mark is huge. Because he said, this isn't lawful. This isn't right. This goes against things I have been fighting for and things I do and I serve in this military every single day. And I'm not going to stand for it. And I don't think you should either. Because the more people to say no, the less the government feels they have the power to continue to push these laws. But the more people that say, I don't know, I'm not going to get involved. I'm kind of busy as it is. I got a t-ball game to go to. Because that's more important. Protect the world you have, and your kids will have a happy life in their world. Lay down, submit, and say, what can I do? That's what they want you to think. It's like Harry Potter. Harry was feeling alone. He felt like the whole world was against him. And one of his friends, whose name is escaping me at the moment. That blonde girl. Luna Lovegood. He's saying, I can't believe you believe me. It seems like you're the only one that believes me at this moment. And she said, I don't think that's true. But I think that's what he wants you to believe. He wants you to believe that you're alone because you're less of a threat when you feel alone. You're not alone. So the more people to stand up and hold hands together and protest against these vaccine mandates, protest about against these jobs forcing vaccinations, the better. Imagine if every nurse walked off the unit when the vaccine mandates get rolled out. I think it's October 1st. Nurses have, at least in the region I'm in. Do you think they're just going to be like, shoot. I guess that's all the nurses we have. No way. No way. But where's your line? Where's your character? What do you stand for? And if you do stand for something, you better be sure that's worth standing for. Because everyone, in school, my whole life, as a kid, you're taught to just believe in something. You can be whatever you want. You're a butterfly. You're unique. You're blah, blah, blah. But character was not something that was discussed in school. As it's discussed a little bit in the church I grew up in. Character is so much, especially as you grow older. Imagine being an adult and having zero character and just like, I don't care. I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm too busy. I'm too busy with my social media. I'm too busy scrolling up and down TikTok. I'm too busy on the dating scene. Stand up for something you believe in. Have some character. Be strong. And fight for something. When I say fight, I mean protest. Quit your job. Whatever. You think a bunch of people quit their jobs and then companies that are like, you know what, we're fighting the vaccine mandates, come work for us. People will come work for you. Why? Because people like to work for things and work for people whose morals align with them, whose character aligns with them, and has a strong stance. There are a lot of people that are vaccinated right now that are just against the vaccine mandates, and I respect those people just as much as the people that are like, you know what, I made the decision for myself not to get vaccinated. Maybe you should get vaccinated. Maybe you're like 80 years old, you're like 500 pounds, and that might be something that you should probably consider. But that's up to you. Stand for something. Don't lie down. The more people stand up for something, things change. The power has always been with the people in a free society. Keep it free. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Derek O'Shea Show. I appreciate you guys so much. And it means so much to me that you take time out of your day just to listen to me spit nonsense, some truth, whatever. And and all that good stuff. I really appreciate you. Let's remember Norm Mcdonald. Thank you so much for everything you've done. I'm going to go do a deep dive on Norm Mcdonald today and just all day, and I suggest you do the same. Be more like Norm Mcdonald. Don't be afraid of the establishment or people in power telling you how to speak, how to act, because the best way through is through comedy and just cutting right through and just standing up and being a moral character, because people respect that more than just laying down and not standing for something. Have a great day. And as always, see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. Also, remember to follow me on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, all podcast platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, whatever. I'm on everything. So just follow me. I'm a getter, whatever. Follow me everywhere, and I'll try my best to talk back to you. You can also email me if you have any questions at thederekoshayshow@gmail.com. Be happy to answer anything. And as always, you can also call this number right here, 720-727-7572. Leave me a message, and I'll read the message out. So I got some messages that I was going to add to the show, but they were just like a bunch of ridiculous things being said. So I wasn't going to add that junk. So leave me a thoughtful message. Leave me a question or things you have going on that we could talk about, opinions you have, whatever, as long as they're not insane. Have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.